So welcome to the Quick Start webinar, everybody. My name is Noah Harris. If you're just tuning in for the first time, we do this every single Thursday, courtesy of the Private Money Club. What is the Quick Start webinar? The best way that I can describe the Quick Start webinar is practice. You're learning new things, but we're also practicing. We're getting the work in, right? So if you have an opportunity to fund a deal and you have an opportunity to just be speaking with a lender, or you're a lender and you want to find a great borrower, how many times do you get to make a first impression? How many times do you get to make a first impression? One, right? So we're practicing our elevator pitches and we're staying sharp. This is our circle. This is our network. This is what we do. We're weird like this. This is our playground. This is fun for us, right? Practicing and talking about private money lending. So to everyone that's new, welcome. For those of you who are back, welcome back. Anytime I teach a class, I'm big on disclaimers. I'm really big on talking about the risk that's involved in private money lending from a borrower's perspective, from a lender's perspective. I'm teaching this class from the viewpoint of an investor. I'm a real estate investor. That's what my wife and I do. That's what we do full time. I've been using private funding for the last 11 years, almost exclusively for my real estate investing deals. So if I give you an example, I give you a case study, I give you an experience that I had, just know that that's coming from my experiences, right? And you're not necessarily going to have the same experience that I had in everything that you do. In fact, of all the deals I've done, nothing's ever gone the same, right? How do we keep ourselves safe? How do we keep ourselves out of trouble? I'm a big believer in surrounding ourselves with licensed business professionals. So who's your real estate attorney? A title company that's doing your title work and conducting your closings and drafting your documents, right? Who are these people? Have you thought about that yet? Hopefully you got them figured out. Who's your real estate agent, right? Is it a top 1%er, right? In that neighborhood? Who is your contractor? Are they licensed? Are they insured? Do they have a good team, right? Do they have a good reputation? Do they have experience in what you need done? The list goes on and on. Contractors, coaches, everything, right? Who are you surrounding yourself with, right? So I'm not a real estate attorney. I'm not an agent or an accountant or anything like that, but go out and find these people. It's going to make your life so much easier, and your lenders are going to thank you for it. And lenders, don't be lending money to people if they haven't figured this stuff out. So if you're on a call with someone and you're looking to lend money to someone, hey, let me ask it. Hey, who's your real estate attorney? Who's drafting the documents? Who's your real estate agent? Who's the bank that you're going to be refinancing when it's time to cash me out? See how they answer these questions. Have they taken the time to build their team? I hope so, right? Real estate is risky, you guys. That's why we're on here. That's why we're practicing, trying to be the best that we can be. All right, so for today's Quick Start webinar, one of our bonus topics that we're going to be talking about is project communication. So if you've never been on these Quick Start webinars with us before, courtesy of the Private Money Club, the first 20 minutes or so, we're practicing fundamentals, practicing our elevator pitch. The second half, we cover a different topic each week. This week's topic is going to be how we communicate in regards to the progress of our projects, right? And this is so important. So, all right, are we all good? Everyone ready? Say, oh yeah, type it in the chat. I like to keep everything super active. If you are a lender, and you're on this call and you love the idea of putting money to work at nice interest rates and having that money secured by real estate, type lender in the chat box. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're here. All right, cool. Look at all the lenders coming in. It's that simple, guys. It's that simple. Where's the money? No, I can't find any money. Well, you're not in the club. Get in the club, right? Lender. All right, cool. Now let's flip the coin. If you're a real estate investor and you love the idea of working with people and not banks or institutions to fund your real estate deals, type borrower in the chat box. Type borrower in the chat box. Love it. Derek and Jeff, right out of the gate. You knew it was coming. You probably had it already typed before you hit enter. I love it. And then we've got folks that do both. Is anybody double dipping? Is anybody that's lending on other people's projects and then borrowing for your own? Right? Lots of times that's usually because you got funds in an IRA or retirement account or something like that, right? Cool. This is awesome. Thank you for that participation. This makes everything so much more fun. Hey, Diane, what's up? I'm glad you can make it. I'm glad you can make it. And we got people from all over the place. Type in the chat box where you're from. I'm curious. Where are you from? Where are you located? Let us know. We got people all over tuning in. I'd love to get all 50 states accounted for on this webinar. I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna read these. All right, cool. So here we go, guys. Couple things. I'm gonna make this a little unique for you guys. And I just want to congratulate you and really celebrate everyone that's on this call. Whenever I do these quick start webinars, usually I'm trying to figure out what to teach and talk about the night before or in the mornings and things like this. And I just got to say this. I'm going to get this out there. I'm going to talk about real quick before we dive into this, the power of coaching, the power of practice, the power of your team, and the power of investing in yourselves. I just want to give every single person on this call some kudos for being here, because by being here, you are investing your time, right? If you're in Private Money Club, you're in my accelerator course, you've invested money to be better at this. You're building your teams, you're practicing, you're doing everything right. And this morning I dropped my son. That's my son, Cruz. So he plays hockey. I know that's weird. We're in South Carolina. He plays hockey, but we're a hockey family. And so Cruz is, during the season, right now he's at hockey camp. So you guys, this is what it is. I drop him off, hits the ice at 9, gets off the ice at 2:30. So and they have like a half-hour break. So every single day, all week for 5 days, Cruz has gotten 5 hours on the ice. All right. He's accelerating his learning. 5 days, 5 hours, 25 hours on the ice. And how I look at this, because during the regular season, they have one practice and then like one game on the weekends. So one practice that's an hour long and then one game, and he's lucky he's not out there the whole time, right? He's out there maybe 20 minutes. So usually 1 week, you're looking at maybe 100 minutes of skating. That's it. Now it's good, but that routine has gotten him where he's at. And I'm telling you what, this was a big investment. So I sent him to hockey camp. I know you're like, no, what does this have to do? It has everything to do with it. It was like $700, $800 for this hockey camp. And after the third day, you guys, after the third day, I already saw 1,000% improvement in his skating, how he was thinking, the things that he was seeing. And why is that? Well, number one, I can only coach so much. Like, I only know so much. This team was from New York. They came down. There's like professional, there's college skaters on this coaching staff, right? They're playing college high levels and pros. They're teaching them things I don't know. And he's putting in 20, 25 hours this week, where that would usually take half a year. So he's accelerating his practice, accelerating his learning. And he's surrounding himself with the best of the best, right? So for us, the way we kind of look at things as a family, and my wife and I, we make these decisions like, are we really going to spend $800 to do this? And, and this is just the camp. He's playing travel hockey this year. And I mean, just to be on the team that he made, it's like $3-4 grand. And that doesn't even include jerseys. Why are we making these types of investments? There's no way in heck he's going to go in the NHL or play in the NHL, but it's all about who he's going to become as a person, who he's surrounding himself with, right? Great coaches, great teammates, setting goals, achieving goals, missing goals, right? Learning about victory, learning about defeat, everything, when you're traveling, like being a young man and how you carry yourself, and checking into a hotel and having a conversation where you're looking the person in the eye that you're talking with. These are like, we're building people here, not just a hockey player, right? But a person. Who is this young man going to be when he's older? And you might think, no, what does this have to do with Private Money Club? Everything. So you guys are doing the same exact thing here, but on a higher level, but in business and in money. So I just want to say, being like this is the 20th time in a row that we've held this webinar, I just want to say congratulations and great job on being here, because you guys are investing your money, your time, and doing things different. And you know what the difference is between the people who crush it in business and in real estate and the people who never even take the chance? It's being in groups like this. It's coaching. It's accelerating your learning. Every single day we're being coached. We're either being coached by someone that's doing what we want to do and helping us and mentoring us. And it doesn't have to necessarily be an environment like this. It could be a fellow colleague or a fellow real estate investor in your field that's mentoring you, or whatever the case may be, or we're being coached by someone that says, "Oh, you can't do that. That doesn't work. That's just for TV." Right? Every single day we're being coached, but who are we surrounding ourselves with? And so it just takes a really cool person to say, you know what, even as an adult, because sometimes when we become adults, it's like, why do we stop hiring coaches? Right? It's like we do all this stuff for our kids, even as kids. Like if you wanted to be in the band, you went, you had an instructor, had someone teach you how to play the piano. Like, why as adults do we seem to stop doing that? Right? I think it's the people that have those breakthroughs are the ones that are like continue to hop on stuff like this, practice, work on your craft. And I just want to say I'm really proud of everybody that's been on these webinars, right? So I hope I didn't go off on too much of a tangent there, but the best investment you're ever going to make in yourself and in your business is in yourself, right? So great job on investing your time to be here, everyone. If you're just tuning in for the first time, my name's Noah Harris. I'm a real estate investor out of Columbia, South Carolina. 100% track record with my private money lenders, and that's also my goal for every single person that comes in contact with me on these webinars in the Private Money Club. If I can teach you one thing, two things, three things that help keep you safe, help keep your lenders safe, your borrowers safe, and everybody creating win-win relationships, that's a win. That's what this is all about. Private money lending is relationship-based lending. So if you're just logging on for the first time, you're like, what is private money, right? I Googled it, but all these funds and banks pop up on Google. What is private money? Well, in the context of this class here in Private Money Club, when we talk about private money, we're talking about a person, right? So I'm talking about Angelo. I'm talking about Leah, right? These are people, not necessarily institutions or funds. I'm talking about Christine, right? It's a person. She's a person, right? So we're big believers in this room, on this webinar, in the Private Money Club, that if you educate yourself, you do the right thing, right? You find good projects, we can create some crazy win-win relationships. We would be nowhere without our private money lenders, and I think there's a lot of people on this chat that would say the same, right, to our borrowers and our lenders. So this is relationship-based, guys. This is what we're doing. Every single Thursday we teach this class. We start on time. We keep it real estate. There's a lot of things we could talk about in business, right? We keep it real estate. If you're here because you want to learn how to borrow funds to go buy an Airbnb, a fix and flip, a rental property, multifamily, you're in the right place. If you're here because you want to learn how to put your money to work at double-digit rate of return, secured by real estate, you're in the right place, right? Any questions that you have, please post them in the Q&A section. So don't post them in the chat. I probably won't see it because the chat stays pretty active. If you have a question, post in the Q&A. And then I got my friend Jose. Jose is a part of the Private Money Club. He's one of the team members. So if you have any questions at all, hit up Jose. Right now, my son is at hockey camp, and he's crushing it. He's getting more done in a week than he has in 6 months on the ice. If you would like that type of experience with me, I teach a class called the Accelerator Program, where instead of hopping on once for an hour once a week, we go nuts, we go hard, and we get it done. So for over the course of 4 weeks, we meet twice a week, 2 hours per meeting. And then you have coaching afterwards. If you want to learn more about accelerating your learning, Jose's got a link right there. He can help map out and explain to you what that looks like. All right, it's called the Accelerator class. Just let him know you're interested in doing that. One of the things, 4 of the things that we work on every single Thursday and in that Accelerator program are these 4 things: credibility, clarity, confidence, and community. How do we establish credibility as a borrower? How do we establish credibility as a lender? Credibility, I'm telling you, this is a lesson. This is a lesson. And credibility isn't something just for borrowers. I think sometimes people think, oh, I'm a lender, I've got money. What do I need credibility for? I'm telling you right now, if you want to put that money to work by someone who knows what they're doing, you will want to have credibility. Right? And how do you present that? What does your profile look like in the Private Money Club? Things like this. So I posted a deal last week on Private Money Club. It's already funded. I got to take it down before Chris gives me a hard time about it. I got to take it down. It got funded, but I got a couple messages from people in Private Money Club, and they were 1-line sentences, and they weren't even like, the punctuation was like, and I'm not like perfect with grammar or anything like that. Like there was no periods at the end of the sentences. It was like one line, I'm interested in partnering. I was like, what is this? Now I got to do all this work to find out who you are, to see if are you a virus? Are you a scam? Like, I got to figure all this out. Zero credibility. So lenders, even though you have funds you want to put to work, how do you position yourself? Let's get together, spend a little while making sure everything's nice and tight so that if someone clicks on your profile, checks you out, they feel confident having a conversation with you, right? So credibility is super important, right? In the private money club. Clarity, how does this work? What documents do you use? Things of this nature. And I think if we have the first two, the third seems to come naturally, the confidence, right? And in Private Money Club, we are a community. So I'm curious here. There's two different ways that you can get in Private Money Club. There's a free membership to Private Money Club. So if you're in Private Money Club right now, just say I'm in the club. Let me see who's in the club. Can you type it in the chat box? Say I'm in the club. In the club, I'm in. Jamie said, all right, cool. I'm in the club. Hey, Angie, what's up? All right, cool. Love it, love it. Patrick, all right, cool. Lots of familiar names. So with Private Money Club, there's a free option. So you can log in for free, check it out, poke around, right? Check out the forum, things like this. But if you want like messaging and be able to make some real connections, then there's also a paid membership. It's a couple $1,000. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. Jose can give you a demo for free to check it out. Yeah, thank you, Jose. Right on time. Click the link and check it out. Right? See what's best for you. But I truly believe that everyone on this call, all 84 people tuning in right now, should have some sort of Private Money Club membership. Right? And you get in there at least for free, poke around, and then leapfrog and go premium so that when we're having conversations, I'm like, all right, I know this person's serious. All right, and there's the link where you can learn more about doing that. All right, the community, right? The community. So every single time we practice elevator pitches every single week. Here's what's cool though about Private Money Club. It's not necessary. It's not really necessary. It's good to know. We got to get the rhythm down. We got to be comfortable talking about what we do, right? But in Private Money Club, I post a deal. Someone messages me wanting to fund it. It's not like, hey, have you ever heard about private money lending before? Did you know that you can make interest on your money that's sitting in the savings account and have it secured by real estate? We don't have to necessarily have those types of conversations because everyone in the club understands what private money lending is, right? It's a beautiful thing, right? All right, cool. Robert's in the club. I love it, right? So this is what we're going to do every single week. We practice, we go over some fundamentals, and then the goal here is to make moves. So I'm going to speed things up a little bit. Every single session builds upon the next, right? So, and you can hop in at any point in time. So don't feel like, oh, this is my first time. Angela was like, this is my first time in Private Money Club. I got to go back and watch the 20 weeks of episodes. No. I'm going to give you 5 things right here on this screen. Oh, there's actually 6. There's 6 things here. Pick 1 or 2. Pick 1 or 2 that you haven't done before to work on. And then next week, you're going to pick 1 or 2 other different things. Right? Or the same things to work on, right? It's about building momentum. So this isn't to just watch the crazy guy with the private money hat and t-shirt talk about private money while I eat my turkey sandwich webinar. It's the Quickstart webinar. It's designed to help you take action. Here's some things that you can do right now to help you build momentum, right? If you're just tuning in, you're like, hey, I got my IBC policy funded. I'm being my own bank. I'm trying to figure out how to put this money to work. Click the link, schedule a call with Jose. Have him help you map out a blueprint of what that looks like and how to put that to work right within Private Money Club. Our next accelerator, create a profile. We already talked about that. Get on next week's call, set the schedule, and next accelerator course is August 12th. So mark your calendars for that. If you are a Premier member, reminder, tonight is third Thursday. So every third Thursday from 6 to 8 p.m., we do a group coaching call with Premier members, with Chris Naugle, Stephen Nagy, Shauna, and the team. And so make sure that you are on the call tonight at 6 o'clock. If you're like, I want to be on that call, I don't know what's going on, click the link, schedule a time with Jose, and he can help make sure you got the link there. All right. Question here. Let me read. Anytime I have a question, a Q&A, I'm going to do my absolute best to answer it. If it's something very specific to you, then I may answer it at the end. If it's something I think the whole group would benefit from, then I'm gonna answer it in front of the whole group. if that makes sense. Okay. Rebecca just asked 6 to 8. It's 6 to 8 Eastern time. 6 to 8 Eastern time. Mark has a question here. I have a seller I have been working with for the last couple months to purchase a rental property that he owns. We're finally at the stage where he's ready to sign a contract. We have a price negotiated, but he wants some cash out of pocket to keep his capital gain exposure low. Well, that sounds like a good thing to do. I suggested seller financing, and he's speaking to an attorney and CPA. What are some other creative options I can offer to help reduce his tax burden without helping him commit tax fraud, which is not an option? Well, yeah, you're not going to commit tax fraud. The transaction is going to be the transaction, right? I love the seller financing option. And what you're finding, Mark, let's just see how that one works out first. You could also do like a lease with an option to purchase type of scenario as well, which would help him out too. So I like the lease with an option to buy more so sometimes than I do the seller financing. I guess it just depends on the exit strategy and what you want to do with the property. But if he doesn't go for the seller financing, or his attorney or CPA freaks him out for some reason, lease options are a great way to go as well. That could help him get a little bit of money from the down payment that you're going to give him, and some of the monthly cash flow that he might want, as opposed to getting it all in one lump sum. So maybe you could do a lease with an option to purchase, and you exercise that option next year when he's in a more favorable tax bracket. I don't know. That's something that maybe you could do. All right, cool. Here we go. Private money, and that's. I think here's what's cool. You're going to see more and more seller financing, because a lot of these older landlords they're tired of managing these portfolios. I meet a lot of people in Columbia, South Carolina. If you got a rental property and someone's calling you about it, you better ask them, hey, how many do you own, and are you interested in selling more? Because what seems to be is that, especially if it's an older person who's had the property for a long time, they've got dozens of other properties too. This is just the one that they're selling right now, right? And they don't want to get hit with those tax burdens. So if you can walk them into seller financing, man, what a great play. And if you could leverage Private Money Club to help you with the down payments, so those aren't coming out of your own pocket, that would be even cooler, right, Mark? All right, cool. So what is a private money loan? Private money loan is a loan secured by real estate, just like a bank. So if you're logging on for the first time and you're like, what is a private money loan? There it is. But we practice this so that we can have conversations with people and educate them on what a private money loan is. So if I'm talking to someone today at the hockey rink and they say, hey, I just saw the video you posted on Facebook. That's a really nice house that you just flipped. Tell me about that. I'd be like, oh yeah, it's great. Da, 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 da. They're like, I've always wanted to do that, but I don't know how to pick up a hammer. Hey, what if you could invest in real estate, but you didn't have to pick up a hammer? Would you be interested in learning more? Tell me more, Noah. I'm curious. Well, we use private money lenders to fund our real estate deals, just like a bank, just like a bank. So we use people just like you. Really? Yeah, isn't that cool? Just like a bank. So those 4 little words, just like a bank, it really helps people resonate what private money lending is, right? So that's why we practice this every week. It works a million times, right? So just keep practicing, right? Keep having conversations with folks. And if the light bulbs aren't clicking and they're like, well, what do you mean just like a bank? Well, do you own your home? Yes, we own our home. Did you get a mortgage to buy your property? Yep. All right, so you went to the attorney or the title company when you were buying your real estate, buying your house. You got a mortgage from the bank. You signed a promissory note outlining the terms, right? Yep. You're personally guaranteeing these loans. You're going to pay them back. Yep. You called your insurance company beforehand and listed the bank on the insurance as the mortgagee. You did all these things. Yep. Just like that. So we do this. Everything that you did for your bank, we do for you. Wow. Okay, cool. Right. And so we're just having these conversations and we're helping people realize that anyone can become a private money lender, right? There are documents involved, and we're going to cover those because usually people start asking about that once they see what the interest rates we pay. So if you're a borrower, let's figure out what your range is. Are you going to pay 8%? Are you going to pay 12%? Are you going to pay 15%? Right? Figure it out, because what's going to happen once you get people curious about this, they're going to want to know, hey, show me the money, right? So this is what I do when I'm talking to people. I let them know, I usually give like a fix and flip type of example. Let them know, hey, we pay anywhere from 8 to 12% annualized interest, and each loan opportunity is unique. So I give them a range, right? If you're on this call and you're a lender and borrowers are messaging you on Private Money Club, figure out what yours is going to be. Right? I lend anywhere from 10 to 15% or whatever that is for you, right? But figure it out. So as you start having conversations, it comes out naturally, right? Comes naturally. All right, cool. Yeah, you're welcome, Mark. Yep, no problem. Let me just check the Q&A real quick. No more new questions. All right, cool. We are good. All right, show me the money. Now, once you tell someone, like today at the rink, this is a great example because I just share real life stuff. I'm having a conversation with someone. I've known this person for a couple of years. I see them at our kids' gatherings and practices, right? We just became Facebook friends, so now he knows what I do, and so he's asking me, "Hey, tell me more about this. Tell me more about this." Well, here's the deal. We pay anywhere from 8 to 12%. Now, when you say 8 to 12%, let me ask you, when I say, "Hey, we pay anywhere from 8 to 12%," what number does your mind immediately go to? Type it in the chat. Yeah, we pay anywhere from 8 to 12%. Where are you going? 12. Derek says 8. All right, Derek, let's sign you up, buddy. Let's get on a call. No, just kidding. Troy said 15. I like that. All right, good job, guys. I like it. We're negotiating already, Troy. You're gonna fit in great. Troy's taking the accelerator, by the way. We just messaged me yesterday. Over the course of this week, he's excited to be joining in and doing. And Julie's been on there, right? So this is awesome. So yeah, use your negotiation skills. But when I tell someone 8 to 12, immediately their mind goes to 12. And they're thinking, wow, I'd love to make 12% rate of return on my money. That'd be amazing. But at the same time, if they've never heard about this before, there's also this, is it too good to be true mindset, right? Is it too good to be true? So what we got to do, make sure I cover this here, is let them know that just like a bank, our attorney or an attorney, their attorney, our attorney, I like to provide the option of using my attorney because I'm here in South Carolina. A lot of my lenders aren't in South Carolina, so I like to give them a referral of someone to use. Here's what we're going to tell them. Hey, just like you had when you bought your house, what we provide you is the promissory note that outlines the terms of the loan, the mortgage or deed of trust that secures the loan with the real estate. It gets recorded in the county. Personal guarantee. So even though you're lending to my LLC, my company, I'm also going to personally guarantee this loan, and we're going to call our insurance company up and make sure that you're listed on there as the lost payee, right? So just like a bank is essentially what we're doing. So when you hear the interest rate and they're like, all right, is this too good to be true? Well, we're gonna put our money where our mouth is. We're gonna have our real estate attorney draft everything up so we're doing this stuff correct, right? We're doing this stuff correct. And yeah, I've also mentioned this before, and lender's title policy, super important as well. And this is something that we're adding from a conversation standpoint. For me, the lender's title policy is like next level. It's like when we sit down and have a real conversation, I'm going to share with you that we also do this. So I don't want to show them all my cards yet, but I want to wow them when we have time to set up a one-on-one meeting, right? If that makes sense. So for the initial conversation, I'm just saying, hey, we do promissory note, mortgage, personal guarantee, insurance. Wow, okay, cool. This seems like really interesting. And the whole point of your elevator pitch, guys, is to set up a meeting. We're only selling the next step, right? So if you're talking to someone, I'm not gonna bring my notebook of all the deals that we've done and to the hockey rink in 30 minutes and say, hey, look at how great I am. And that's not the place, right? We're gonna say, hey, look, let's grab a cup of coffee. We can chat. Would it be worth 30 minutes of your time? I buy a cup of coffee for you and you learn about what we do and how we help people. Yeah, that sounds good. Set it up, right? Set it up. Bring the HUDs. Show them the HUDs, right? Yep, show me the HUDs. And then all the documents are prepared, and just to kind of release the pressure valve here, it's like we're not printing stuff off the internet, wondering if it's done correctly. We're having licensed business professionals like attorneys draft what needs to be drafted, right? So, and this is why when I teach the accelerator course, one of the first things I tell people in class, and you guys know this, of everyone that's on this call who's taken the accelerator with me, right out of the gate, the very first thing we talk about is finding your real estate attorney. Who's going to be conducting your closings if you're the borrower, right? And who's going to be looking over your stuff if you're the lender, right? And or both. Okay, so everything is recorded and drafted by a licensed professional and recorded. You see, I have recorded there. Like, we got to make sure that when you have a mortgage, it gets filed, and I don't want to be responsible for that. I get anxiety just thinking about that. If the attorney If I bought a house and the attorney said, "Hey Noah, here's your paperwork, you go record it," I'd be like, "Oh my God, where do I go? What, City Hall? Like, do I need quarters for the meter? Like, is it downtown?" Like, I would freak out, right? So just have your attorneys do this. This is what they do for a living. Here in South Carolina, and at least in the county where we predominantly buy real estate, it's done online, right? 24 hours. It should be done, right? No excuses for it not to be recorded. All right, cool. Here we go. Do you do med too? I don't know what med. I don't know what that acronym is, Curtis. I'm sorry. Maybe you can send it to me in the chat. All right, so here's what I do. We work on this stuff, right? These are nice little lines I say all the time to get people excited, whether they're lending or borrowing. As a real estate investor, where can you go to borrow all the funds that you need for a real estate deal without having to go to a bank? As a lender, where else can a person put money to work and have it secured by a piece of real estate that's worth much more than the loan amount, right? Beautiful thing. Win, 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 win. All right, cool. Joel says, "Love what y'all do. I'll be joining soon." Nice. Just signed the paperwork this morning on 45K from a PML at 12%. Over 6 years. Nice. I love it. I love it. That's beautiful. And if anyone has a referral for an attorney in Texas, shoot it Joel's way, right? That's awesome. Good job, man. So here's my little system, you guys, and I'm gonna share kind of like something to think about here at the end as well, and to work on and do. And I'm a big believer in practicing what I preach. So anytime I have an opportunity and the deal isn't funded yet, I put it on Private Money Club. Last week I put a deal on Private Money Club. If you go there right now, you can see it. It's 3 rows down. There's been a couple of new ones since, and I post about it in the forum. I think right now it's on page 2 or 3 in the forum. So I post a deal in the deal section, post a deal in the forum section, and I have some attachments there, things we talk about like perfect loan proposal, things like this, so you can read up on the projects. My goal when you're in Private Money Club is, yes, you can message me in Private Money Club, "Hey, I'm interested in doing a deal," but what I do, and I'm just sharing this for educational purposes. You guys figure out how you want to do this. I encourage people to go to my website, and then once they're at my website, I have a video, I have some outlines of what it's like to work with us, and then I encourage people to get on our calendar to talk business, right? So this deal that I posted last week did get funded, and I have 2 meetings with people in Private Money Club tomorrow to talk business. And even though this deal got funded, we're going to sit down, get to know one another, talk about each other's goals, what's important to them, what they're looking for in a borrower, feel it out, and really see if this is going to be a good relationship. Remember, Chris says this is the relationship site. It's a dating site for private money, right? You got borrowers and you got lenders. And so this isn't like the Tinder. This isn't like a one night stand website, right? So we like to look for relationships that can last, right? So when I'm interviewing people, I'm saying, "Hey, what are your goals?" Like most people that I've met in Private Money Club, they don't want to do just one deal, right? They want to put their money to work and keep it at work. So if you feel as though this is someone you want to work with over and over and over and over again, and you kind of set the precedent where it's like, "Hey, what are your goals? Like how many years do you see yourself doing this before retirement or in retirement? Like, is it a 2-year plan, a 5-year plan, a 10-year plan? What does this look like?" And you kind of feel it out and say, "Okay, I could see us doing business together," and then you move forward, right? And so, but remember, the whole point of when you post deals in Private Money Club or on the forum is to set up a meeting, right? Nothing's going to happen instantly just because you had a decent, because you posted a deal. We got to take our time with it and make sure it's going to be a good fit. And we do that by having a one-on-one talk. It could be Zoom, phone, whatever, right? All right, cool. Hi, Noah, I believe I've already signed up for the accelerator. Nice. Oh, sorry, this is meant just for me, but I wanted to connect with you. All right, cool. Danica, can you message me on Private Money Club, Danica, and I can give you some assignments? She's saying, "Hey, I'm in accelerator. Is there anything I could work on right now to hit the ground running?" I love that. Definitely go in Private Money Club and friend me so that we're friends in there. And I can shoot you some messages and give you some assignments if you want of things that I can make sure that you hit the ground running when we start August 12th. All right. And if you can't find me in Private Money Club, call back Mike Vega and say, "Mike, I need Noah's phone number." Okay. All right. Remind me of your website. Yeah, I'll type it in here. Hold on one sec. I got the link here. I don't do this to get people to go to the website. I do this as an example of kind of like my little system. Okay, so just know that. But yeah, okay, here it is. I actually pulled it up. So on my site, just kind of give you guys an idea of what I do. Like, so I'll have a video of what it's like working with us, and then I have a form that you fill out to connect with us, right? And then this is our latest deal that just got funded. So I do a little video about that. You guys can see this, right? You say, oh yeah, if you can see this. This is, and then I have like a flyer here and things like that outlining the deal. Okay, cool. This is a new one too. This also got funded, but we are doing a second on this one if anyone's interested. But yeah, this was a great week for us, private money. So as you can see here, I have examples of some of my lenders, right? And then kind of like what it's like working with us, things like that, meet the team. And then I'm big on disclaimers, right? So you can kind of check it out, see what I do if that helps you guys, right? Kind of go next level with it. All right, cool. So this is what we're going to talk about now. I don't have a lot of time, but this is something I want you guys thinking about as you start having conversations with people, okay? One of the biggest problems, when someone comes to me with a problem, it's usually stems from lack of communication, right? It's either a paperwork problem, they didn't get a mortgage, they didn't get a promissory note, they didn't get the documents that we just talked about, or it's a communication problem and they're like, I'm not sure what's going on with my money. I'm not sure what's going on with the house. You know, I haven't heard anything in a while. I'm getting kind of antsy here, Noah. Can you help me? Whatever, right? So one of the things that we teach in Accelerator is clear communication and setting expectations. Setting expectations as a lender and setting expectations as a borrower. So there's 4 different ways I help people, this is my experiences, stay up to date on the progress of our projects. Okay, so but you want to have these conversations up front. So before you lend the money, you're like, all right, this deal sounds great. This deal makes sense. I got my mortgage, I got my promissory note, I got the, the insurance, proof of insurance and things. Everything's good. But real quick, before I wire this money tomorrow, tell me, let's talk about how you plan on keeping us up to speed on the progress, right? See what they say, see what their plan is for this, if they have a plan, right? And then if there's a method that you prefer, I would present that, right? If I'm a lender and you like to be updated a certain way, present that. Let them know, set that up, right? And agree to that. If you're a borrower, I bet you there's a lot of people who aren't talking about this up front. And so you can really stand out as a borrower if you say, hey, this is what we love to do for our lenders to make sure you're up to speed on the progress of the projects, right? And so here's a few things. Number 1's routine emails. By the way, if you do one of these, type them in the chat. Which ones are you doing, if any, right? Which ones are you doing? We could do a monthly email with pictures, updates, things of this nature, right? Maybe that's a good way to do it, right? Some people like that. Once a month, Noah, that's all I need. Email so I can pull it up and have everything organized, right? I have some lenders who like a Google Drive folder. So they like me to take all the pictures of the progress and put them in a Google Drive folder, and we can organize it real nice, and they like that. This is usually a combination of one of the two, but one of the things we love to do for our lenders, whether you're in town or not, if you're local or not, if you ever are in town, let's do a tour, right? So maybe you give a property tour. Lots of times lenders love to learn. They love to see the progress. They love to smell the sawdust and see the before and afters in person. So we always give the opportunity, hey, if you're ever in our area, please let us know. We'd love to give you a tour of the project that you're funding, right? And then the last one, you guys, is something I love to do for my lenders, and that is a private Facebook group. So if your lender is on Facebook and they're comfortable with this, what we do is we actually create a private Facebook group. It's usually called, the name of the group is usually the street address of the property. And then from the time we buy the property, we post all the before pictures. If the dumpster is delivered, we post a picture of the dumpster being delivered. If our contractor finishes work, takes a picture, sends it to me or my wife, we post it in the group. And what's really cool about this is you're not calling your lender, you're not bugging them. They can check in live at any time and check things out. right? And what's cool is you can see that your lender got the message. They give a thumbs up or the smiley face or the heart on it all. And I also like it from a real estate investor standpoint because a lot of my photos, sometimes you want to like go back and grab a photo from 2 years ago or something like that. And, all of these are ways where you could go back and grab that photo that you needed for your credibility packet or whatever, right? So this is a great way to keep people up to speed. And yeah, Angie says, love the private Facebook group idea. This works great. I love a photo when complete. I tell the borrower, I'm not going to pester you, but monthly, just text me. Perfect. So Leah's having these conversations up front. And a lot of this, I'm gonna just share this quick story with you guys, and then I gotta sign off. But this is how, I had a friend. We were doing like a conference, and it was the topic was private money lending. And one of my fellow panelists was a great real estate investor, right? And he made a comment that he had to fire a lender. He had to fire the lender because the lender was bothering him too much with wanting updates. And in my mind, I was like, dang, that stinks that you had to fire the lender because, that could have been a great relationship there. I bet the conversation just wasn't had up front around, what it would be like to, what communication standards should be between you and that person. And if you had created a private Facebook group and just posted, because you're already posting your stuff on Facebook anyways, posted in that group, the lender could see what's going on and they wouldn't get all nervous and feel like they had to call you every other week to see what's going on, right? So this is something cool. It takes 2 seconds. Probably, let's be real. It takes maybe 60 seconds. It takes 1 minute to go to Facebook and set up a new group. In the groups, we have the owners. We invite the lenders, of course, and then we also invite our real estate agent. So that's the way the real estate agent can see what's going on. Whoever's going to be listing the house, they're not calling me. Is the house done? Is the house done? Is the house done? Right? What's the status? What's the progress? They're in the group. They can see exactly how it's going live, and they're not bothering anybody, right? Which is super cool. Yeah, it takes a minute. No big deal. But I feel like this is something that is going to help you stand out. It's going to add credibility. This is going to be something that makes it fun, and it's also the lenders are involved, right? Your lenders are an extension of you. They're a part of your team. Right? So how can you communicate with your team on how your projects are going? Create the Facebook group. You could even throw your general contractor in there if you wanted to, right? So I hope these are some good ideas, guys, right? Make a move. If you're logging on for the first time, create your profile. If you're like, man, I would love to go to private money camp this summer, another word for PMC Accelerator coaching is the private money camp. If you want to go to camp with me over the course of 4 weeks, twice a week for 4 weeks, and then some. Click the link right there with Jose. Schedule some time, have him help you out, and create a blueprint for you, and see how Private Money Club can help you out. Premier members tonight at 6 Eastern time. We've got a group coaching call. It's a great campfire to sit around. I'm not sure what the topics are going to be, but Chris and Steven, they always add a ton of value. And these are just great webinar rooms to be in. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to sign off. Happy summer. Happy late Father's Day to everyone. And I'll see you next week, Thursday at 1 o'clock, everybody. So y'all have a good weekend, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for tuning in. You're welcome. All right, bye.